Chapter 41, Nazarick 1. Overlord, the multiverse by Black_Bolt. 1.7K366. Half a year flew by since Ain Zulgaun seized control of the Great Tomb of Nazarick. Our first order of business was to craft a guild weapon for our newly established guild base. To the surprise of many, including myself, the chosen weapon was a staff. Given my penchant for warrior and tank roles, wielding a staff seemed utterly bizarre. But as they say, appearances can be deceiving. Unlike your typical mage's staff, ours came with a unique feature, a weapon change function. This allowed the wielder to alter the weapon according to their preference, making it a versatile tool for any situation. Of course, the initial confusion and skepticism among our guildmates quickly turned into excitement as they experimented with the staff's capabilities. It became a symbol of our unity and adaptability, reflecting the diverse strengths and skills of our members. As for me, I couldn't help but feel a sense of pride knowing that our guild weapon was a testament to our ingenuity and resourcefulness. And who knows, maybe one day, I'll surprise everyone by mastering the art of staff combat. After crafting our guild weapon, the members of Ain Zulgaun delved deeper into their individual projects within Nazarick. For some, it meant fine-tuning their custom-made NPCs, ensuring they were perfectly tailored to our needs. Others had ongoing renovations or expansions planned, eager to make the most of our newfound stronghold. With the majority of our time spent inside Nazarick, it became our second home, a place where we could unleash our creativity and indulge in our passions. Whether it was strategizing for future conquests or simply enjoying each other's company, there was always something to do within the labyrinthine halls of our guild base. But even amidst our busy schedules, we made sure to take occasional breaks to venture outside and gather materials or engage in some lighthearted monster hunting. After all, a change of scenery was always welcome, even for the most dedicated denizens of Nazarick. Before our conquest, the Great Tomb of Nazarick was originally slated to have only 6 floors. However, with our relentless efforts and determination, we managed to reconstruct and expand it to a staggering 11 floors. And as the guild leader, I alone have access to the hidden 11th floor, a domain access only to me and to those I allow. But that's not the only upgrade we made. In our revamp of Nazarick, we ditched the boring old staircases and replaced them with flashy teleportation gates. Now, getting around the tomb is as easy as saying, abracadabra, well, almost. Each floor has its own designated gate, strategically placed for maximum convenience. Want to go from the first floor to the third in the blink of an eye? Just hop through the gate and you're there faster than you can say, floor skip. But before you go thinking I single-handedly revamped the whole tomb, let me set the record straight. While I may have had a hand in some of the changes, my guildmates deserve credit too. They're the ones who managed the original floors, and frankly, they didn't need my meddling. Of course, that doesn't mean I didn't want to put my own spin on things. Oh no, I had big plans for our revamped Nazarick. First order of business, beefing up those original floors to make them even more formidable. Let me break it down for you. The first 3 floors, known as the grave, are home to the catacombs. Picture this, subterranean burial chambers teeming with undead wandering in the darkness. Spooky, right? The first 2 floors got a makeover courtesy of Roncino and the gang, but the 3rd floor. Well, that's where I stepped in to lend a hand. Next up, we've got the 4th floor, also known as the underground lake. This serene setting is nestled within a cavern, featuring crystal clear waters and an aura of tranquility. It's a custom creation by Yamaiko, Lucifer, and the rest of the crew. Moving on to the 5th floor, Glacier. Imagine a vast expanse of icebergs as far as the eye can see. But don't let the chilly atmosphere fool you, this floor packs a punch with its icy terrain and frosty weather. Warrior Takemikazuki and Touch Me took the lead on this one, with a little help from yours truly. Then there's the jungle, a sprawling landscape filled with lush foliage and vibrant wildlife. Blue Planet really outdid themselves with this one, creating a dynamic environment complete with a fake sun, changing seasons, and even a rain system. The 7th floor, known as Lava, is a fiery inferno straight out of a nightmare. Albert and I let our inner Chunabu run wild, crafting a hellish landscape of crimson lava and scorching heat. Wilderness, the 8th floor, is our final line of defense, a deadly maze of traps and hazards designed to thwart any would-be intruders. With contributions from Punidomo, Tabula Smaragdina, and a generous dose of cash items from yours truly, this floor is a force to be reckoned with. The Royal Suite, our 9th floor, is a haven of luxury and comfort, boasting everything from communal baths to beauty salons. It's the perfect place for our guild members and NPCs to unwind and relax after a long day of adventuring. And let's not forget about the throne, the heart of our guild. Here, I sit in regal splendor, overseeing our domain with authority and grace. The 10th floor is a grand sanctuary fit for a king, offering ample space and opulent furnishings. But perhaps the most coveted of all is our treasury, or as I like to call it, El Dorado. This floor is my own creation, and it's the largest of them all. Picture this, a landscape dotted with towering mountains of gold, shimmering in the light. It's a treasure trove just waiting to be explored, making it the ultimate destination for adventurers seeking excitement and riches. And there you have it, our revamped Nazarick, a testament to our boundless creativity and unyielding determination. Tilde tilde tilde. In my patron, gaming arc in high school the XD arc ended and Demon Slayer arc just started. Give me your opinion and criticism about the chapter, I can only improve my story if you point out what is wrong and what is needed to change. And leave at least one comment and review if you like my fanfic. In my Patreon this volume is over, you can join my Patreon for $3, see you. More than 100 plus advanced chapters. Overlord, the multiverse by Black_Bolt. 1.9K372. In 3rd floor of Nazarick. Man, isn't it about time you finished creating your NPC? You're probably the only one who takes this long to create a single one, I teased Roncino as I found him on the 3rd floor of Nazarick. Roncino looked up from his workbench, a playful smirk on his face. Hey now, quality takes time, you know, he replied, waving his hands dismissively. I'm not just throwing together some random character. I'm crafting a masterpiece. I chuckled, shaking my head in amusement. Sure, just don't forget that the rest of us are waiting to see what kind of creation you've cooked up this time, I said, leaning against the wall. Roncino chuckled, his eyes sparkling with mischief. Oh, don't worry, it'll be worth the wait. So, any hints about what this new NPC is going to be like? I asked, unable to contain my curiosity. According to the original timeline, it should be Shaltir whom Pero Roncino is going to create because of my involvement with Canabel. I don't know how he is going to create Shaltir without Canabel's blood soul. That's the problem, Alex. Currently, I don't know what I should make, Pero Roncino said. I raised an eyebrow in surprise. You don't know, I echoed, taken aback by Pero Roncino's unexpected admission. Pero Roncino nodded, his expression thoughtful. Exactly, I've been brainstorming ideas, but nothing seems to quite fit. At first, I had the idea to create a vampire, but I couldn't find the right items to make her. So now I'm considering making a succubus or something, Pero Roncino said. Don't create a succubus or anything like that. You must focus on creating the vampire, I said quickly. After all, I couldn't miss the chance of getting myself a vampire lover, could I? Pero Roncino nodded, understanding my enthusiasm. Got it, Alex, your wish is my command. With a grin, I continued, you know that I was the highest class vampire in Yggdrasil, right? Pero Roncino's eyes widened in realization. Ah, I see where you're going with this, he said, a smirk playing on his lips. So, I'll give you my blood. Use that and create a powerful vampire, I concluded. Pero Roncino's eyes lit up with excitement. That's brilliant. With your blood, I can create a vampire that surpasses all others. We wasted no time in getting to work. Pero Roncino gathered the necessary materials, while I prepared myself to provide him with my blood. It was a strange sensation, offering up my HP for the creation of an NPC. Would that make me her father? Daddy, harder tilde tilde tilde, dirty thought begone. As I watched Pero Roncino work his magic, I couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. What kind of vampire would he create with my blood? Would she be fierce and formidable, or elegant and mysterious? After what felt like an eternity, Pero Roncino finally stepped back from his creation, a satisfied smile on his face. She's ready, he announced. I approached the newly formed vampire, my heart racing with excitement. She has pale shiny skin, seductive crimson red eyes, silver hair is tied in a ponytail through a large ribbon on top of it all, allowing others a full view of her face. What's her name? I asked eagerly, unable to tear my gaze away from her. Pero Roncino grinned mischievously. I thought you might ask that, he said. I've decided to name her Shaltir Bloodfallen. An excellent choice, I said, nodding in approval. It suits her perfectly. Now it's time to add her personality and flavor text, Pero Roncino said, giving me a knowing look. I chuckled. Alright, I'll leave you to it. And don't add all your knowledge about fetishes in her. Pero Roncino gave me a playful wink. No promises, he replied with a mischievous grin. But I'll try to keep it PG-18. As I walked away, leaving Pero Roncino to work his magic, I couldn't help but shake my head in amusement. Pero Roncino was known throughout the guild as a top-tier pervert, always pushing the boundaries of what was acceptable in polite company. But despite his penchant for risque humor and questionable antics, there was no denying his talent when it came to creating NPCs. He had a knack for infusing his creations with personality and depth, making them come alive in ways that few others could match. I had no doubt that Shaltir would be no exception. She would be as perverted and slutty as the original. Tilde tilde tilde. In my patron, gaming arc in high school, the XD arc ended and Demon Slayer arc just started. Give me your opinion and criticism about the chapter. I can only improve my story if you point out what is wrong and what is needed to change. And leave at least one comment and review if you like my fanfic. Chapter 43, Floor Guardians. Overlord, the multiverse by Black_Bolt. 1.7K560. This chapter is more like an information dump, so you can skip if you want. The Floor Guardians of Nazarick were formidable beings, each tasked with protecting a specific floor from any external threats. Much like raid bosses in a game, they were powerful adversaries that posed a significant challenge to anyone foolish enough to attempt to breach their domain. From the grave to the chaos floor, each guardian was a force to be reckoned with, wielding unique abilities and formidable combat prowess. Their loyalty to the guild and their unwavering dedication to their duty made them formidable allies and formidable foes alike. The initial trio of floors in Nazarick is governed and safeguarded by Shaltir Bloodfallen. She's not your typical vampire, she's a creation born from my blood and Pero Roncino's craftsmanship. Shaltir's presence is both mesmerizing and intimidating. Despite her petite stature, she exudes an aura of power and authority that demands respect. Her crimson red eyes gleam with flirty look and a hint of mischief, reflecting her playful nature. With her flawless, porcelain skin and captivating beauty, she commands attention wherever she goes. Pick. The guardian of the fourth floor is known as Gargantua. Unlike the other guardians, Gargantua is not a custom NPC created by our guild members. Instead, he is a powerful bonus obtained by Ainz Ulgaun when we successfully captured the Great Tomb of Nazarick. Gargantua is a towering colossus, a hulking behemoth of stone and muscle that strikes fear into the hearts of any who dare to challenge him. His immense size and strength make him a formidable adversary, capable of crushing even the most determined foes with ease. Cocytus, the guardian of the fifth floor in the Great Tomb of Nazarick, is the creation of warrior Takemikazuki. With an imposing stature standing at 2.5 meters tall, Cocytus possesses a unique appearance that blends elements of a mantis and an ant, giving him an insect-like demeanor as he moves about on 2 feet. Despite his intimidating appearance, Cocytus is more than just a monstrous insect. He is a skilled warrior with formidable combat abilities, capable of wielding his massive frame and razor-sharp claws to devastating effect in battle. His loyalty to our guild and his unwavering dedication to his duty as a guardian make him a formidable opponent for any intruders who dare to challenge the fifth floor of Nazarick. Pick. Aura Bellafiora and Mare Bellofiori serve as the floor guardians of the sixth floor of Nazarick. Both of them are dark elves, each with their own unique characteristics and abilities. Aura Bellafiora, the elder twin sister, was crafted by Bukubuku Chigama. She possesses a boyish appearance with dark skin and pointed ears, typical of her dark elven heritage. Her striking golden hair frames her face, and she has heterochromia, with one eye blue and the other green. Aura typically adorns herself in reddish-black dragon scale leather, complemented by a white and gold vest embroidered with a sigil of Ainz Ulgaun. On the other hand, Mare Bellofiori, Aura's younger twin, also bears the unmistakable features of a dark elf. Crafted in a similar fashion, Mare boasts dark skin and pointed ears, along with golden hair and heterochromia. His right eye is blue, while his left eye is green. Mare's attire consists of a blue dragon scale leather full-body suit, covered by a white and gold vest adorned with the guild's emblem. He completes his ensemble with a forest green leaf cloak and a short white skirt, exposing his thighs. An acorn necklace hangs from his neck, emitting a soft silver light, and he wields a twisted black wooden staff with ease. Pick. Demiurge stands as the floor guardian of the 7th floor of the Great Tomb of Nazarick. Crafted by Albert Alon Odell, he commands the NPC defenses and holds the esteemed position of being third in command among the floor guardians. In appearance, Demiurge cuts a striking figure. Towering in stature, he possesses dark skin and impeccably combed black hair. Behind his round glasses, his eyes are so squinted that they are barely visible. Dressed in a British suit complete with a tie, he exudes an air of sophistication and refinement. Notably, a silver tail adorned with metal plates and 6 long spikes protrudes from his back, adding to his menacing presence. Upon closer inspection, one will notice that Demiurge's eyes are not as they seem. Rather than conventional eyeballs, they are adorned with shining jewels, each meticulously cut and arranged to perfection. As a master strategist and tactician, Demiurge plays a pivotal role in safeguarding Nazarick and ensuring its dominance within the tomb. Pick. Victim assumes the role of the floor guardian on the 8th floor of the Great Tomb of Nazarick. With their unique appearance, they stand out among their fellow guardians. Resembling a 1-meter-long bright pink fetus, Victim is adorned with an angelic halo hovering above their head. Their featherless stick-like wings protrude from their back, adding to their distinctive appearance. One notable characteristic of Victim is their lack of a neck. To survey their surroundings, Victim must rotate their entire body, a quirk that sets them apart from other guardians. Despite being considered the weakest among the floor guardians, Victim holds a position of authority over the 8th floor, which serves as the last line of defense for Nazarick. Despite their seemingly fragile appearance, Victim's role in safeguarding the tomb should not be underestimated. On the 9th and 10th floors of the Great Tomb of Nazarick, there are no specific floor guardians. Instead, these floors are overseen by area guardians and the Pleiades. The Pleiades is a battle-made squad that originates from Nazarick. Programmed to act as sisters, with the exception of Sebastienne, they share a close bond despite not being biologically related. Each member of the Pleiades was individually created by a different member of the guild, adding to their diversity and unique abilities. Pick. The floor guardian of the 11th floor is a powerful dragon named Draconis, created by me. Draconis possesses immense strength and formidable abilities, making it a formidable foe for any invaders daring to breach its domain. Its primary purpose is to safeguard El Dorado, the treasury of Nazarick, ensuring that it remains protected from any threats. Pick. The last one is Albedo. She is the overseer of the Guardians of the Great Tomb of Nazarick, responsible for managing and supervising the activities of the 7th floor guardians. As the middle sister of Negredo and Rubedo, she holds a position of authority above the other NPCs in Nazarick. Created by Tabula Smaragdina, Albedo possesses unparalleled beauty, with jet black hair and features reminiscent of a goddess. Her golden irises and vertically split pupils, along with her crooked horns and angelic wings, add to her striking appearance. Adorned in a pure white dress and silky gloves, Albedo wears a golden spiderweb necklace that accentuates her shoulders and chest. In combat, she dons impressive black full-plate armor and wields a formidable battle axe, ready to defend Nazarick with unwavering loyalty and determination. With her commanding presence and exceptional abilities, Albedo stands as a formidable force within the Great Tomb, ensuring that its guardians fulfill their duties with precision and efficiency. Pick. _. In my patron, gaming arc and high school DxD arc ended and Demon Slayer arc just started. Give me your opinion and criticism about the chapter. I can only improve my story if you point out what is wrong and what is needed to change. And leave at least one comment and review if you like my fanfic. In my Patreon this volume is over, you can join my Patreon for $3, see you. More than 100 plus advanced chapters posted, you won't regret joining. All the images can. Chapter 44, Union of 8 Guilds. Overlord, the Multiverse by Black_Bolt. 1.7K469. As the sands of time trickled away, the once lively halls of Ainz Ulgaun grew quieter than a library on a Monday morning. Members began to disappear faster than a rogue in stealth mode, leaving behind a guild that felt more empty than my inventory after a dungeon run. Weeks melted into months, and months morphed into years, until I found myself stuck in a digital desert, parched for even the smallest drop of social interaction. It was like being stranded on a deserted island, except instead of coconuts, I had virtual armor and an inventory full of loot. One day, while scrolling through my friends list like a bored teenager on social media, I noticed something peculiar. Not a single one of my pals had logged in for what felt like an eternity. No messages, no guild chat, not even a simple, hello. It was as if they had all disappeared into the virtual ether, leaving me to fend for myself in the vast expanse of cyberspace. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a good solo adventure as much as the next gamer. But there's only so much dungeon crawling and monster slaying a guy can take before he starts craving some human interaction. Plus, who was I supposed to brag to about my latest loot drop or complain to about the overpowered raid bosses? So, there I was, trapped in a digital purgatory, with nothing but my thoughts and slutty chats from Death herself. You know you're in trouble when Death becomes your daily buddy, although, to be fair, she does have a killer sense of humor. But hey, every cloud has a silver lining, right? At least I didn't have to worry about my guildmates hogging all the loot or stealing my kills. It was a solo player's paradise, if you ignored the overwhelming sense of loneliness, that is. But as the days dragged on and the silence grew deafening, I couldn't help but wonder, where had everyone gone? Had they all abandoned ship, leaving me to sail the digital seas alone? Or were they off on some epic quest known as life, leaving me behind like the sidekick in a bad RPG? Either way, one thing was for sure, I was in desperate need of some company. Because of that I developed a habit of talking with NPCs. Talking to NPCs was like having conversations with statues. They may stand there looking attentive, but when it came down to it, they were about as responsive as a rock. I'd pour my heart out to them, spill my deepest secrets, and all I'd get in return was a blank stare and the occasional scripted line. It was a bit like therapy, except instead of nodding sympathetically and offering sage advice, the NPCs just stood there, frozen in time, waiting for their next command. Not exactly the most comforting thought when you're craving some genuine human interaction. But hey, beggars couldn't be choosers, right? And in a virtual world where the only other option was to wander the empty halls of the guild hall alone, talking to NPCs was better than nothing. Plus, there was always the off chance that one of them would glitch out and start spouting gibberish. Now that was entertainment. So, I'd chat away to my heart's content, regaling the silent guardians with tales of my latest exploits and asking them for advice on everything from battle tactics to fashion tips. Sure, it was a one-sided conversation, but it beat the alternative, sitting in silence, listening to the echoes of my own voice bouncing off the walls. They are going to be my future companions, so I don't think it's a bad idea. Plus, I didn't forget to mention some of my favorite and sexual-related aspects and some of my favorite hentai story to female only. Who knows, it could come in handy in the future. As guild members began to drift away, the once mighty Ainz Ulgaun saw its ranking plummet from the pinnacle of power to a mere shadow of its former glory. Once feared and respected, the guild now struggled to maintain even a foothold in the rankings. Despite Alexander's tireless efforts, tackling guild quests and challenges single-handedly, some tasks simply demanded more than one player to accomplish. And as for recruiting new members, Alexander wasn't exactly keen on the idea. Who needed newbies messing up his meticulously crafted plans, after all? As the guild's influence waned, old enemies began to stir. Those with grudges against Ainz Ulgaun saw their chance to strike, banding together in a coalition of vengeance known as the Union of Eight Guilds. Their goal, nothing less than the total annihilation of Ainz Ulgaun and the seizure of their fabled legacy. Little did they know, however, that within the depths of the great tomb of Nazarick lurked a single, solitary figure, a force to be reckoned with, capable of laying waste to their best-laid plans with ease. They called him the strongest player in Yggdrasil, the king of vampires. Count Alexander. With their army of 1,500 players, the Union of Eight Guilds was about to learn the true meaning of fear. Tilde. Support me through Patreon, it will be huge help. In my Patreon, Gaming Arc and High School DxD Arc ended and Demon Slayer Arc just started. Give me your opinion and criticism about the chapter. I can only improve my story if you point out what is wrong and what is needed to change. And leave at least one comment and review if you like my fanfic. In my Patreon this volume is over, you can join The Multiverse by Black_Bolt. 1.6K364. So, Death, what do you think are the odds about them crossing the 8th floor? I asked casually, lounging on the oversized throne of kings. Seriously, whoever designed this thing must have had a thing for dramatic flair. I mean, obsidian, really. As a world-class item, the throne came with its fair share of perks. Not only did it give me a fancy buff on my status screen, but it also allowed me to control traps and armies within Nazarick. Plus, it had this nifty defense system that could give even the most persistent divination magic a run for its money. And then there's Death, my ever-present companion. Though she lacks a physical form, she's always there to chat with me through our mind connection. I think most of them wouldn't even get past the 4th floor, dear, Death replied, her tone tinged with amusement. I chuckled. Then do you like to bet on it? I proposed, already envisioning Death's reaction. Bet, what are the stake? Death asked. I grinned mischievously, already plotting the terms of our little wager. I bet they wouldn't be able to pass the first 3 floors, and if I win, I will take your anal virginity. Death's mental presence seemed to pause for a moment before responding. Oh, you're feeling bold today, aren't you? She remarked, her tone a mix of surprise and amusement. I couldn't help but laugh at her reaction. Hey, why not make things interesting? I retorted, trying to keep the mood light despite the rather risque proposition. There was a brief pause before Death responded. Very well, you're on. And if I win, we will have a sadomasochism time and I will be on top of you. I burst out laughing at Death's unexpected counteroffer, the mental image she conjured up both surprising and amusing. Well, Death, I replied, trying to regain my composure. Looks like you're bringing out the big guns for this bet. Looks like this is a war, I can't afford to lose. With Death's ass and my dignity as a man online, I took my sword from inventory. After all, when Death herself was your betting partner, there was no room for half measures. As the Union of Eight Guilds approached the 1st floor of Nazarick, they were greeted by an imposing legion of undead, accompanied by an army of golems and myself alongside Shaltir Bloodfallen. The sight of our formidable defenses was enough to give even the bravest of adventurers pause. Well, look what the cat dragged in, I quipped, unable to resist the opportunity for a bit of sarcasm as the representatives of the Union of Eight Guilds stepped forward. The leader of the group, a stout warrior with a haughty air about him, stepped forward, his expression a mix of determination and apprehension. We are the Union of Eight Guilds, and we have come to put an end to the tyranny of Ainz Ulgaun, he declared, his voice echoing with false bravado. I raised an eyebrow, unable to contain my amusement at his grandiose proclamation. Oh, really? And here I was, thinking you'd come for a friendly game of chess, I replied, my tone dripping with sarcasm. The warrior's face darkened with anger, but he pressed on, undeterred. Enough with the jokes, Ainz Ulgaun. We demand that you surrender Nazarick to us immediately, he demanded, his voice ringing with false authority. I couldn't help but chuckle at his audacity. Surrender Nazarick? Oh, my dear friend, you must be joking. This place is my home, and I have no intention of handing it over to a bunch of wannabe conquerors, I retorted, my smirk widening into a grin as I watched the warrior's face contort with frustration. But he wasn't finished yet. Then you have to face us, 1,500 players of level 100 from 8 worlds. Even for you, the so-called strongest player, it's impossible to deal with that many numbers, he declared, his voice trembling with misplaced confidence. I couldn't help but smirk at his audacity. Impossible, my dear fellow, impossible only means it hasn't been done yet, and you know me, I'm a professional at breaking those impossible odds, I retorted, my voice dripping with sarcasm. The warrior's face flushed with indignation, his eyes narrowing in frustration at my dismissive response. You may think you're untouchable, but even you have your limits, he insisted, his voice growing more strained with each word. I raised an eyebrow, feigning interest as I leaned casually against the armrest of my throne. Ah, but that's where you're mistaken, my dear friend, I replied, my tone oozing with mock sincerity. You see, I thrive on the impossible. It's my bread and butter, my raison d'etre reason for being. And besides, where's the fun in life if there aren't a few impossible obstacles to overcome? The warrior's frustration was palpable as he struggled to find a retort to my nonchalant confidence. You may have powerful allies, but we have strength in numbers, he countered, desperation creeping into his voice. I couldn't resist a chuckle at his feeble attempt to bolster his argument. Ah, the age-old adage, quantity over quality. A bold strategy, my friend, let's see if it pays off for you. Before he could retort, I raised a hand, but before we dive headfirst into this whole conquering business, I feel it's only fair to give you a chance to reconsider. After all, I'd hate to add negative karma to my avatar. The warrior's expression darkened at my suggestion, his pride wounded by the implication that his grand plans might end in failure. We did not come here to negotiate. We came to conquer. I couldn't help but smirk at his stubborn refusal to even consider negotiation. Well, can't say I didn't offer, I muttered under my breath, unable to resist a small chuckle at the absurdity of it all. After all, what harm is there in giving a bit of friendly advice before things inevitably go south? Then I turned to Shaltir Bloodfallen. Looks like it's showtime, Shaltir. Time to give our guests the proper welcome, and we have an ass in my dignity to protect. Tilde. In my patron, gaming arc in high school DxD arc ended and Demon Slayer arc just started. Give me your opinion and criticism about the chapter, I can only improve my story if you point out what is wrong and what is needed to change. And leave at least one comment and review if you like my fanfic.